What's up, mates? So I wanted to start creating YouTube weekly recaps of all the gaming alpha going on. So I usually do it in Substack and post on Twitter, but just wanted to switch things up just in case people wanted it in the video format. So let's get to it. But before we do, I'm very stoked to get back to this. I was actually motivated by Alex Hormozy with his recent video of learning how to become the top 1% in your field, doubling down on BDworks. And I realized I haven't done this in a while, so I feel like this is a very important thing that I do with these weekly analyses that have really refined my edge. So I want to continue doing them. So let's get to some alpha. First off, for Bitcoin, it's kind of crazy how it's still been on an uptrend for the past 6 months. However, volume does seem to be drawing up around the 30K region. So I don't know whether that's a double top or not, but we'll see. It's around 66 RSI on the weekly chart, so it's moderately override. So long-term bag, still decent, but I'm personally not taking the risk with Bitcoin getting to these prices. Same thing with ETH. I'll look for other dips to get to. Then for NFT games, coins are bleeding out a little bit, 5 to 15%, while the NFT floors are bleeding out a little bit too. And I'm starting to see some loyal community members leave various groups, and they're going to that are just leaving crypto in general, or taking a break, or migrating to another group, or finding some. So that could be an opportunity there. Then for plays, I recently scooped up some Azuki beans and Digidagaku heroes, and maybe I'm looking for a dip in the upcoming parallel avatar drop. Then for stocks, it's kind of crazy. It's been 9 months since it's been on an uptrend, and has been almost, 4-ish months since it's been nonstop going up. So maybe there's bound to be at least like a moderate correction in the medium term. So let's see what happens. So we look at these corrections. It's usually 1 to 3, around 6 to 8 weeks. However, it has been around 7, but if you want to include these two, that could be like another 14, 16 weeks. So could be due for a correction, but we'll see what happens. Then for the fear greed indicator, it's actually 56. So I was kind of surprised, but at the same time, it kind of makes sense where there's a lot of FUD on Twitter and Discord and stuff. However, people are still aping in, like the Azuki minting out 38 million, and then people still going in, I think, 1 million into Ether or some other stuff. So they're still aping in, and yeah, I think the liquidity is probably going to dry up very soon, or seems like it, with the whales running out of their money, but we'll see what happens. Then for overaction plan, still desaying to long-term bags. I think they're still solid, like those. Added in some new ones like Arbitron, Bit, Optimism, Sway from the previous one. Then for NFTs, I think the lower funded games are very high risk right now. They probably are losing a lot of funding. They're probably cutting their teammates and cutting their hours and stuff. So I'd probably look for any good deals on higher funded games, like Digidagaku, Parallel, Wildcard, Legendary Select Chain, etc. So we'll look for those. And then resource allocation, increased cash a bit into that. Lot savings still the same, a little bit less in stocks since it's been pumping so hard. Then we got blue chip crypto still increasing, desaying into them. Swing trading still the same, a slight increase in NFT gaming blue chips. Then for trends, it's been a lot of sell-offs and FUD from the recent mids like Azuki and stuff. Then, yeah, I think other points I mentioned before, where you can scoop up a lot of these great opportunities, or teams could take advantage of all these new loyal community members trying to migrate places. So you can do that. Then lots of hacks happening, so try to stay safe, don't click random links. A lot of people are falling for these, along with these random Twitter bots like tagging you fake airdrops and stuff like that. So really take your time to be safe with things, and I think this could be a good opportunity for anti-hack and security protocols to really integrate themselves, and I think they'll probably become a lot more popular because of all these hacks going on. Then another trend, still minting. I think a lot of mints are still happening that are paid for some reason, even if these market conditions or liquidity drying up a bit, like with the parallel mints. However, I took a closer look into the mint structure, and a lot of these mints have like different functions. Like parallel has ones where you can, if you're like on the manifest realm, which I think means like you're an active member, then you can mint it for 11 parallel. So I would not be surprised if it goes under mint price, since people mint it for pretty much free. Then they want to make a quick buck off of it. Like then they sell it for like 0.8, 0.10 ETH, since the public mint 0.11. So would not be surprised if it dips, but we'll see what happens. Then I've been seeing a lot more on-chain gaming content out there, a lot more games being published, so very cool to see, and I'm very curious to see how this ecosystem develops. Then you got various news, like the Atmos recap, Hyperplay integrating a Bushi, Wolves Out PFP NFTs, shoutouts to their team for dropping it, Mortal, Infinity Gods, new airdrop in Mortal Siege. Again, we got a bunch of other ones, like the Parallel Content Creator program launching and their upcoming mint, Thread swooping in, etc. Then for capital insights, we got Shardium raising more, Yatsu working closer with the Hong Kong government, so very bullish on that. Then we got more hacks like the multi-chain bridge exploits. We got Ryan leading the Polygon team, so very curious to see how that turns out. You know, where there's smoke, there's fire, but we'll see what happens. So hopefully they pull it off. I think they can pull it off. Then we got other companies like Sega leaving the Web3 space, but they're probably going to still integrate their IPs low-key, and very curious to see how other Web2 companies approach this, like whether they build silently, release everything in bull market, whether they wait for more stability, whether they just avoid it, they FUD it, etc. Then we got a new game by Manamaka Ventures. I think it's like a shooter game. Then we have an interesting point brought up by Tang, where a lot of these runways, like you can check, US is like pretty much has 6 times years less runway than, for example, a startup team in Vietnam. So could be a lot of arbitrage opportunities there, where maybe you get initial funding, then you move to one of these lower income places or lower cost places, or you get really talented teams from there. You scout them out, then you put them through a bunch of different competitions and screening to see how good they are. So very curious to see how that space turns out. Then for learning, this video was actually very useful. I think this motivated me to kickstart this again, along with other stuff too. So I think try to check it out if you're at a plateau in your skill set and you want to improve. And yeah, I think for the closing remarks, I think we really are at another breaking point. You know, we had previous breaking points like the FTX blow up, 3 Arrows Capital. We have 2021 December when everyone started selling, and I think this is another one of those points where you really separate yourself from the competition. Everyone's feeling the FUD, they want to get lazy, they don't want to put in work anymore. But if you're able to double down, identify great opportunities, execute with patience, you know, like the Zuki dip, it went down to like 0.3, and Elementals bounced down to like 0.7, then it bounced back to like 1.3 ETH. Then there's some other opportunities, like a bunch of DAOs, they need help with work and building their DAO, and they have a bunch of funding. And I know there's Mantle Network. I highly recommend joining the G7 DAO network. They're really awesome. I know Optimism has their thing. Then we have other stuff like Merit Circle and a bunch of these different DAOs. So I'd recommend checking out these opportunities along with other coming projects that are getting funded, and there could be some great opportunities there. So hope you guys enjoyed this video format. I'll try to continue doing these along with the Substack videos, articles, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it, and talk to you all next time.